Hi, I hope you're having a good time after your midterm exam and having a nice break. But you know me, I'd like you to be learning more and hopefully encourage you to go and get some certification from LinkedIn. So these are my recommended course moving into the second half of the term. So if you can go to linkedin.com/learning, you should be able to get and access this essential training for Revit and Lumion. So to go to LinkedIn, simply copy that link URL and go to your website and type that link. It will bring you to the LinkedIn Learning portal. So here, if you do not have a LinkedIn account, I highly recommend, or even if you do, I highly recommend that you create one where you use your Sheridan user email address. Okay, so I'll sign in and I'll have an account with my Sheridan email address. So I'll type it here at sheridancollege.ca. Now, remember, this is signing in LinkedIn. So that's the first step. So it's asking me for not my Sheridan password, but for my LinkedIn password. So I'm going to type my LinkedIn password here. Okay. And since LinkedIn know that the email address I gave or use belongs to Sheridan, it will actually bring me to, oops, I forgot. Okay, bring me to this website where it asks me to, since I belong to an organization which is Sheridan, my Sheridan username and password. So I'm going to click this, sign in, single sign on, and it will then redirect me to Sheridan. But since I already signed on earlier, it recognizes that I'm already signed on. Otherwise, it will give you the Sheridan username and password option. Okay, so that's how you log in LinkedIn. If you are having problems logging in LinkedIn, kindly contact our IT for support. Okay, so the courses that I'd like you to take a look at and get a certification from is Revit 2020 Essential Training for Architecture. So you simply go here and for under search, kindly just type Revit 2020 Essential Training for Architecture. Okay, so there's the Imperial one and the metric one. So you can do both, but otherwise we're using metric for this term, so you can start with metric. I did complete this, so nice, and it's actually highly recommended. Okay, so that's how you search for a particular course here in LinkedIn. Okay, and once you've completed the course, you get to download your PDF certificate. Another is Revit templates annotation. So essential training, is the nuts and bolts of Revit. So trying to know the essentials of Revit, ins and out of Revit. In a term, we don't usually are able to uh, discuss everything about a particular software like AutoCAD or Revit. So uh, back in the day, when I'm learning software, I normally would buy a book or several books even to try to learn the ins and outs of a software like AutoCAD or Photoshop or any tools that I'd like to use. So I think training or trying to train yourself doing these courses is beneficial for you. Now, if you want to become a Revit manager, like a CAD manager, Revit templates allows you to get know how templates work. So set up how settings so that it automates the Revit working process. So Revit templates, annotation. And then most of the time we find difficulty in navigating around Revit, and how things are shown, what are visible or not visible, why is it visible, why is it you know showing in this view, and why is it not showing the other. So Paul Oven actually created a nice lecture regarding this. So view range, again, highly recommended, very short, right? I think it's just an hour and 27 minutes, so you get to understand how the view range work. And then building different types of roofs with Revit, again, so another nice course, a little lengthy but very important. Okay, and then we have rendering. Of course, we will be rendering our views, our scenes in Revit and Lumion. So these two uh, training or these two lectures are also highly recommended. Okay, so those are the trainings that I'd like you to get some certification on, and hopefully you get prepared as we go in the our first meeting after the break. Okay, so I'll see you then.